Hello, good afternoon. My name is Andrea Orta, and this is my math online field trip. So here we go. Here I'll be talking about 5 websites that I chose. I chose Khan Academy, IXL Math, Zern Math, and SplashLearn and ABCia. Even though I'm not yet a teacher, I have used ABCia and Zern Math before with my daughter, and I want to teach kindergarten. So I think all these apps, all these websites will be very beneficial. There are other websites you can use too, but these are just the 5 that I chose to speak of, and I will be explaining them more in detail. But first, I'd like to speak about assistive technology. Assistive technology to me is very important. I think it's important all the way through school because it gives you the well-rounded education that you need, especially when you start out in kindergarten. You have graph paper. Graph paper, I believe, is so beneficial because this helps you to line your numbers so you're able to do math and subtraction and addition, and you can get the correct answer, and you can put symbols on here and know what they're supposed to look like. Then you go to the ruler and drawing tools. That's important too because this helps you to do your geometric shapes or create visual representations. Also, with the ruler, you're able to measure length, which is so important, especially in further math grades, math skills, excuse me. Then you have the number line. Number line is so important. With a number line, you are able to understand the relationship and the counting of numbers. You can do the jump, uh, jump counting, which is or skip counting, I think is what they believe they call it, which is so important, especially with addition and subtraction. You do the addition on the top line, and on the bottom line, you go to the left to do subtraction, which is very important. Then you have manipulatives. Again, I feel these are so important. You have your linking cubes, which are great for addition and subtraction. You have your counting 10 blocks, which is so important because it helps you to count by 10, 20s, 30s, and so on. You have your geometric shapes, which is very important so you know what the different shapes are, your triangle, your square, your rectangle, your circle. There will either be rhombuses. I mean, it's very important. And you have your dice too, which are important because this helps with addition and subtraction and helps you just recognize what the numbers are. And you have the abacus. The abacus is so important because it's got beads on it. And with the beads, you're able to do the addition and subtraction, which is very important and very essential skills, especially to move on to further math. And iPads. I believe iPads are very crucial in the classrooms because this will help in the different websites that I will be discussing in the future slides. And also, if you have an iPad, you can use this at home to work on the different math websites or other math websites that you find. So this is very beneficial in helping you become better at math skills. Then we have my Khan Academy. Khan Academy is one that offers a wide range of math topics. It is great for pre-K all the way through college level. It helps with pre-algebra, algebra, geometry, basic arithmetic, everything there. It's a wonderful app. Also, it is good for personalized learning. And what that means is with personalized learning, you're able to track your progress. Teachers have access to tracking your progress, which is important. Um, Also, it knows what you need to work on more because of the personalized learning. There's many different resources to choose from with this site. AI chatbot, which is really good because this is to assist you with mathematical inquiries and learning. So it's a chatbot that you can ask questions to. And like I said, teachers have access to this, which is so important because the teachers are able to see how you are doing in class, what they need to assign of in math problems that you would need to work on or different areas that you need to work on. And you're able to access this at home, which is so important, I believe. Then we have IXL Math. IXL Math, you can access it at home, but it is very limited. So to do this one, you would have to get a monthly or yearly subscription, and I'm not sure how much that would cost. So this is a good one for in class, but not necessarily at home. It's comprehensive, which is really important because with the comprehension, you have different wide range of math skills. Again, basic arithmetic all the way up to advanced calculus. So this is a great site, again, all the way through, well, college again. And then you have, it's personalized again for the student, which is important because This is where the student can make sure they have challenging questions, but they can also make sure that they are understanding the questions and it can personalize it for them and their learning studies. It engages the student and is very interactive, which means with this, we are able to play different games with it, but it's also there's virtual rewards. It keeps you motivated and engaged in the learning. Again, teachers have access to this, and what that means is they're able to monitor the student's progress and they can assign practice sheets and whatever the student needs to work on for the curriculum. It also identifies proficiency and where, of course, you need improvement. And most importantly, you get to work at your own pace, which I feel is very important because if you rush a student along in math, really in any subject, but definitely in math, they're not going to understand what they're doing. And they may not get the skills to be able to do the higher up math, and they're just going to shut down. So working at your own pace is so important because then they can see that, hey, I'm kind of struggling in this. I need to work a little harder in this. Can you give me some help in this? It's very, very important. Then we have ZearnMath. This is one that I used with my daughter, which I feel is very important. ZearnMath was great because it was a digital learning math online platform. It actually is good through kindergarten through 8th grade. Um, and what it did is there's also teacher guided videos. So there's teachers that are teaching you how to do the math problems. So if you're having problems, you can see how the teacher is teaching it. There's visual representations, interactive tools, which is very important because I believe having the visual representation really helps a student to learn math. Having that visual, whether it be pencils, apples, whatever you're using to count with, anything like that, the linking cubes, having those different manipulatives is so important so that you can succeed and understand what you're doing in math. And those are interactive tools. And it also provides extra feedback and practice, which is really important. So you have your different worksheets, which are really important because you need to know, hey, am I struggling in this area? Or I've done really good in this area. So I don't really need the extra help in this, but maybe in these areas I do. And again, it offers resources for the teachers, which is so important because it offers lesson plans, assessments, professional development materials. So everything that's really important for the teacher to be able to help the students. And this, again, you can access at home, which I really like the ones you can access at home because then the students can work at home and the parents can see what your child is working on too, which is so important. And then you have SplashLearn. I really thought this one was interesting when I saw it. It is only through pre-K to grade 5, but I thought it was interesting because we're in the digital world and kids learn at an early age that they love to be on their iPads, computers, tablets, whatever it is that they're on, and they love to play games. So why not give them a website called SplashLearn where they can learn to do math? They can learn through interactive games. So whether it be, a frog jumping on something or whatever game it is, they're learning the different math to understand, like maybe jumping on lily pads to add or jumping away from, or taking away. So that would be subtraction. And also you have curriculum, it's curriculum common core, which is important because that is what is being taught in the schools today. And fluency math facts is that it has areas where you are designated to learn your addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division problems. And that's really important because that is the base for you to understand and for the students to understand how to work in higher math. You need to have that base. Again, teachers have access, which again is so important. With the teacher access, they are able to see how the students are progressing. They are also able to print out worksheets if students need to work on an area more. Also, live math classes. That's another thing which I found interesting because here it's live math classes are their experienced and certified teachers on these live math classes to give the students the information to help like additional support and instruction. So I thought that was interesting. And then you have practicing specific math topics. And what that is that if you're having issues in an area, whether it be addition or subtraction, or maybe how to tell the shapes, or in a higher grade, maybe it's geometry or graphing or algebra. These will actually, well, not with Splash Learn, I'm sorry, excuse me. This would be only the lower ones. And so it'd be like you didn't understand addition or subtraction or multiplication or division. So with this, you can specifically get to the math topic, which is very, very important. Then you have ABC. I really liked ABC when I used it with my daughter because it was very interactive, a lot of fun games on it, variety of games. There's a lot of engagement. Again, this is a pre-K to sixth grade, covering topics, like I said, of addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. It is important because it's actually on grade level games. So it's not going to have you doing games that are too hard for you. So you're always going to be on your grade level of what you need to work on. Again, this is accessible at home, which I've already can't even reinstate it even more, that I feel that is so important to have this at home too, because you need to work at home. Math does not just stop at school. It works. You have to work on it at home too. And some of these games may be customized. And what that means is that, say you need the game to be a little harder or a little easier, so you can make it harder or you can make it easier. So that is really, really, really important. Again, like I've said, I plan to incorporate all these websites and probably more too in my teaching career. Again, I said I would like to teach kindergarten. That is something that I'm very have a passion for, is the young ones. And I really enjoyed using Zearn and ABC with my daughter, so I know that I would enjoy using that with the kids too, because I believe that it's very beneficial, and I saw her learning, so I know that other kids will learn for this, because it provides a wide range of topics of different math skills, which is so important. And it's important because as a teacher, I'll be able to see how they're doing and watch their progress and be able to help them to make sure if they need help in an area, or hey, they're really excelling in an area, so we can move on from that area. It lets me know what I need to do for my students. And also, like I said, the digital age, it's here to stay. It's not going anywhere. In fact, there's going to be a lot of advancements in technology. I couldn't even begin to even imagine what they're going to be, but the iPad, any kind of technology, digital wise, is going to be in the classroom, and it's here to stay. So we must embrace it, because we can't fight it. It's here and it's going to stay, and that is fine. So we just need to incorporate it in our class, make sure that they get the help at home that they need. Also, thank you. If there's any questions, please feel free to ask me if you have any questions or comments about anything, or if you even want to add something, maybe that I missed something, and that's fine. I don't mind that either. I've really enjoyed explaining my different 5 websites to you today. I hope you've enjoyed them, and just have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much. Bye.